May is always a much busier month than I expect. The end of the school year brings all kinds of events and extra things, and with the nicer weather, there is also more needed to do outdoors. This can make for less time to play over the month, and I definitely felt it in a few categories, but I was still able to progress through some games during the month and even start some new ones. I was also able to keep up my streak of having a completed game in the mix, which makes me happy. What games did I complete? What games didn't get quite as much time during the month? Well, let's take a look at what I played in May 2026 and find out. My completed games are a bit odd this month. I completed one story game that I had been working on for a few months. I also completed a short free-to-play experience, and I'm adding a playtest here to the list as well, since I didn't really know where else to place it. The first completed game is 99 Spirits. I was able to finish up this game both in terms of completing the story and also earning all of the achievements for the game in May. Thankfully, the game has a new game plus mode that made getting the last few achievements I needed after the end pretty quick and easy. 99 Spirits left me with such mixed feelings by the end though. I did enjoy the story and the gameplay to a degree, however the gameplay also had tedious moments and the game had some recurring crashes that made the experience a bit more frustrating than it should have been. I will hopefully have a review out for this in June, but we'll see what happens. Second completed game is Roguefall. This was a short little roguelike that I started and finished during May. It was pretty fun for a few hours, but I think this suffered from a lack of options. There are only a handful of weapons to unlock, and enemies start to get pretty repetitive over time as well. I enjoyed my time with it and may revisit it if there are updates expanding more of the game, but since I beat it a couple times, I didn't really feel the pressing need to play it anymore at this time. And the third completed game kind of is the Dreadmore playtest. My brother sent me an invitation to the Dreadmore playtest in May, and I decided to give it a try. It's basically just an early demo for the game, but it was somewhat interesting to try out. You're traveling on a little boat through a very interesting and very creepy looking world. Bad things have obviously happened in this world, and you're trying to survive and make it to other locations. This only took me around an hour to get through, but it was very interesting. The world and art style of the game I enjoyed quite a lot. The gameplay I found a bit more mixed. It wasn't bad, but was maybe just slower than it needed to be, particularly the boat travel. I could see this being a game that you can improve your boat over time and make it faster, so that may not be as big of an issue in the end product as it was here. I'm not sure that the game was interesting overall enough to be a purchase on release. Few games are for me, but it will definitely be a wishlist add. Story games felt like they were in a weird place this month for me. I played more Final Fantasy X than I had previously, but still felt like I didn't play it as much as I would have liked. I also added a couple of new games, but didn't really play either one of them very much during May. The first story game is Final Fantasy X. As I said, I played Final Fantasy X a handful of times over May, but just didn't progress as far as I hoped I would during the month. I'm enjoying it a lot when I play it, but I feel like the busy month kept me from getting to it as much as I would have liked. I was able to finish Luca and start traveling the Mi'ihen High Road. I was able to take out the Chocobo Eater, and that was pretty much the last main event I completed in the game. I'm hoping the summer will allow me a bit more time to focus on the game, but we'll see what happens. The second story game is Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. After 99 Spirits, this was the first new PC story game that I started. I only wound up playing it once though in May. I felt like I was able to make a decent amount of progress during that one time, but I didn't really play any further. This Indiana Jones game isn't based off of a movie, so I'm hoping the story will be a bit more fleshed out. But even if it isn't, there isn't a movie version to compare it to, so that might help it also. So far I've enjoyed it, but it is still one of those adventure games that is less frustrating to get through with a guide. And the third story game is Ninth Dawn 2. I also tried another story game on PC during May as well. I started the top-down action RPG Ninth Dawn 2 and played it once as well. This is my introduction to the Ninth Dawn series as I hadn't played the first. There are 3 games in the series and the first entry even had a remaster. If I enjoy it, I'll maybe play the others in the series. It's a little on the rough side graphically. I know that once I started out I was trying to pick up things that were just background items that you can't really interact with at all. The graphics are not great and it's not really always clear what you can interact with right away. You kind of get the hang of it as you play for a little while, but it is a decent game. I have enjoyed the combat and the overall gameplay. It's maybe nothing super amazing and can have a little bit of difficulty, especially early on, or if you go to the wrong spot or face the wrong group of enemies at the wrong time, but I have had a lot of fun playing it as well. It's kind of satisfying. It's a kind of a simple game that you can just go fight some things, level up, find some loot, that kind kind of thing. It's nothing too amazing, but it's also something I've enjoyed playing as well. I haven't really progressed that much in terms of stories, so I don't know if it's going to be one that has a depth to it that really makes it satisfying, or whether it's just going to be kind of a excuse to go around and kill enemies and find items and weapons. Moving on from story games, I'll be focusing on games that I call endless games. These are games that don't have clear-cut endings. They can be online PvP, arcade, sandbox, creative, simulation, or party games. There are games here that are monthly regulars and also games that will hop off and on the list depending on the month. I'm pretty sure that my list for this month though is exactly the same as last month's endless list. As often happens when we're busy, there is a lack of variety in this category. These are definitely the games we play and enjoy the most though, so it's a good indicator of what we're into as a family at the moment or what I'm personally into recently. The first endless game is Fortnite. Chapter 7 Season 2 has continued on during May, and we've been playing through it. I don't feel like I'm as far along on the battle pass as I have been in previous seasons. I've made it through all the main pass, but still have a number of levels to go in order to get all the bonus content. I think as of this recording, I'm at like the 130s, which is pretty low for me for a battle pass season that only has a week left. And since I only have a week left at this point, it's looking pretty doubtful that I'll earn everything I can. So we'll see how far I can get with 1 week left. Chapter 7 Season 3 will be starting after that week is over, just in time for summer breaks to kick in, at least for our family. I haven't really heard what the theme is supposed to be for next season or any possible skins, but it's always interesting to see what a new season brings to the table and try to work through that battle pass as well. The second endless game is Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals had a new season release in May, with Devil Dinosaur being added to the roster. Since he's a Vanguard, I have actually played him a little and must say that he's pretty fun to play. We still have a lot of fun with Marvel Rivals and pick it fairly often, which is probably where some of the Fortnite time has gone in recent months. We have also played a bit more of the Blood Hunt mode in May, but haven't as much in the later parts of the month. We kind of tapered off as the month went on. We definitely aren't done with it, and I'm sure that we'll pick up playing it a bit more in June. Third endless game is Stardew Valley. I played Stardew Valley both on my own and with my family again in May. I only played once on my own and didn't really progress all that much. I was able to work on random quests like putting 10 beets in Mayor Lewis's house that I just hadn't done yet, but other than that, it has been about trying to make more money and earn enough to buy the next couple of obelisks. We played as a family at least twice during the month. I feel like I did a greater variety of things on this farm than on my own. A number of people built stables to be able to get horses. I worked on finding golden walnuts on Ginger Island. We finally found the last scroll to allow us to speak to the dwarf, and of course continued to develop our farm in order to gain more money to spend on further upgrades. Fourth in this game is Marvel Snap. I feel like I played Marvel Snap a bit more in May than I have since I restarted playing it. I've mainly enjoyed playing some of the limited time modes since they tend to give you progress even if you don't win your battles. While I'm not earning a lot of rewards from these events since they are super grindy, they still feel more consistent in progression than Ladder or Conquest for me. I am still only playing on the PC and haven't put any more money into the game, but I'd be lying if I haven't been tempted to put it back on my phone. Fifth in this game is Minecraft. We played this a number of times during the month. It has been sharing the chill game to play when we're tired role that Stardew Valley had been filling on its own. We've all been kind of doing our own things in the game. We've been building roads and exploring new areas, setting up villages near our base for trading, mining for ore and gems, and getting blown up by creepers. It's been fun exploring Minecraft. It's maybe not my favorite of games just because it's kind of a little bit almost too pointless and it's just kind of wandering around doing whatever for much of it. However, it is a pretty chill game overall, and quite fun to play together with family and see what we can create and the areas that we can explore. And the sixth endless game is Rock Band 4. We also played some Rock Band 4 again in May. It's not too often that we wind up playing it 2 months in a row, but we wound up doing just that during the month. We were down a person this month when we played it though, but we're still able to have fun playing through some songs together for a night. I feel like the achievements category really suffered in May. The lack of time, this category got very little attention and also only has one game here for the month. And that game is Lone Survivors. I played this only a couple of times during the month, trying to work on some of the remaining achievements I have in the game. While I could just try to go right for the achievements, there are in-game things to unlock by doing more than just what the achievements need. This makes me take a bit more time than I need with the game, but I still enjoy playing it enough to do that. I want to get the in-game upgrades to help increase the power of weapons or characters as I go along. And that's all for May. I'm very happy that I was able to complete some games during the month. May was busy and definitely decreased some of my playtime, but I was still able to play some good games both on my own and with my family. As we enter into the summer months, who knows what will happen? The summer is such a different schedule when you have kids, so it's hard to say how everything will be. It could lead to more games being played or less. I guess I'll just have to wait and see. I'm at least hopeful that I will knock out at least 1 or 2 games completed over the month, but I don't really know how that'll all go. What have you been playing in May? Let me know in the comments. It's always fun to see what others are playing and if you would recommend those games. I hope everyone had a great month and that you've been playing games that you enjoy. That's all for me though, so I will see you in the next video.